Welcome back to FM Storey. We're into the second half of season 3 of this Glory Hunt to Save, and things have picked up with Bayern Munich this season. We didn't start very well, but we're in a much better position now than we were after the first couple of months of the season. We are currently top of the table. We're 9 points clear of Stuttgart in second, 10 points clear of Leverkusen in third, and 14 points clear of Dortmund in fourth. Obviously, we already won the Bundesliga last season, so as far as the objectives for the save are concerned, that's not massively important. What is important in terms of the objectives for this season is the DFB Pokal. Last season we got beat in the semi-final by the eventual winners, second division Hertha Berlin. This season we've made it back to the semi-final and we're just waiting to find out who we're going to be playing in that semi-final. And the Champions League, we went out rather embarrassingly in the last 16 last season. This season, we were pretty atrocious for most of the league phase. We've managed to scrape into the knockout stages. We've got the knockout playoff round coming up against Monaco, and hopefully we'll also have a last 16 tie coming up in this episode as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So we've made it through to the second leg of the knockout playoff round against Monaco, and since the end of the last episode, we've had a really strange run of games. We started with a 0-0 draw against Hamburg, where we just didn't create any chances and we looked susceptible to their long throws for the whole game. We then were away at Mönchengladbach and took a lead just before half-time with a Goretzka header from a corner, and then conceded a late equaliser. We then went away to Monaco in the first leg and took a lead just before the hour, and then conceded another late equaliser. And then against Stuttgart, who at the time was second in the table, we took an early lead. They levelled it up just before half-time. They went in front, and then this time we needed a late equaliser to level the game, to come away with a 2-2 draw. So we've drawn all 4 of the games we've played since the last episode. And we just seem to be in a bit of a rut at the moment. As far as the league's concerned, we are still top of the table. We're 4 points clear of Leverkusen, 5 points clear of Stuttgart, and 14 points clear of Dortmund still. And we need to just pick up the form a little bit, just to see. Because at this stage, we're at risk of going out in this next game against Monaco in the Champions League. So this is the side we've gone in for the second leg against Monaco. Hopefully the home advantage will be enough to see us through. We've switched the formation. We've gone away from the 4-2-3-1 just because those last 4 games we've not really been that impressive. So we've gone back to the 4-3-3. We are missing Matthias de Ligt, who is injured. We're missing Luis Diaz, who has been injured for about a month or so and isn't yet ready for a fitness test. And Leroy Sané is starting on the bench because he's only fit enough to play 45 minutes because he's only just coming back from injury as well. So we've gone with Gnabry, Musiala and Tell as the front 3. And hopefully, like I say, the home crowd can see us through to the next round. Right, Wirtz with a corner into the near post. It's headed up in the air. Gnabry down the outside to the byline, low cross. Matisse Tell taps it in from close range, but we're going to get a VAR check, despite the fact that it's been given. It didn't look like it could possibly be offside, but so it comes down to Gnabry. He takes it, just goes right down the outside, gets to the byline, low cross in. The goalkeeper and the defender were between Tell and the line the whole time, so I don't know why we got the VAR, although actually it looks pretty close from that replay. But we're in front. Right, free kick for them. Even short. They've given the ball away. Gnabry back to Upamecano. Into Florian Wirtz, who turns and runs, puts Tell in. He beats the keeper, and we're going to get another VAR check because that one I think is pretty close as well. And that one's been given as well. So Upamecano brings it forward, finds Verts, who just turns away from the defence, moves forward, and then just clips the ball forward for Tell, who just takes his time, waits for the keeper to go down, fires past him, and puts us up 2-0 early on in the game and really in control of the tie now. Perfectly judged run. No one went with him. And a great finish once he got in there. Right, they've cleared the ball, but only as far as Upamecano. He goes across to Kim Min-jae, who brings it forward and then goes back to Gundogan. Kim Min-jae again. Upamecano now striding forward. Finds Gnabry, Vert into Tell. Smashes it past the keeper. And again, we're going to get a VAR check to see whether he's completed his hat-trick. And it's been given. So Upamecano brings it forward, finds it out to Gnabry, who plays it first time to Vert, who takes a touch, which plays in Tell, and it's a great finish across the keeper. And that's his hat-trick in 33 minutes, and we're really in control of this tie now at 4-1 on aggregate. Even despite our lacklustre form in these 4 draws, it's going to take something to really throw this one away from here. Right, Mazraoui with the throw. Verts finds Gnabry, back to Mazraoui. He fires past the keeper. That's 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate, and surely that is us through to the last 16. So Mazraoui to Verts, just goes into Gnabry, who lays it off, and then Mazraoui just drives it across the keeper, in off the far post for 4-0. Right, so we've made one change at half-time. Sané's come on for Musiala, who picked up a knock early on in that first half. And Gnabry's gone up to the left. Right, Vanderson down the line with a free kick for them. Balogun chasing it. In to Zakaria, back to Vanderson. Under pressure from Tell. Flamingo single. Sessegnon over the top looking for Balogun. He's in behind. And Maignan makes a save at the near post, turning behind for a corner. Ben Yedder to take it. Pulls it back to the edge of the area. It's pushed right back out to Ben Yedder. And we've got a tackle in to put it out for a throw-in. Right, throw in for a Stanisic to Verts, back to Stanisic, Verts to Sané, who goes down, and I mean that's quite clearly outside the box. I don't know why we're wasting time here. It was never ever going to be in the box, and the linesman's like 4 foot away. And there we go, full time, 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate, through to the last 16. And the first time in a couple of weeks that we've even put in a remotely half-decent performance. Hopefully this is a sign that our form is about to take upwards from here. So we're approaching the end of March now, and it turns out that change in formation to the 4-3-3 does seem to have had a big impact on turning our form around slightly. So off the heels of that 4-0 victory against Monaco, we went away to Regensburg and won 5-0. And then in the first round of the last 16 against AC Milan, we won 4-1 at home. We then had a home game against Augsburg, who we play in the DFB Pokal semi-final. We won that 4-2. And then we went away to Milan and won 2-0 with 2 goals from Leon Goretzka in the second half to see us through to the quarter-final of the Champions League. I suspect that may be where the adventure ends for the season because we've been drawn against Man City. And then in the most recent league game, we won 4-0 at home against Dortmund. Coming up next, we've got a big league game against Leverkusen. It's first against second. We are 6 points clear as we stand at the moment with 8 games left to play. If they win, they're right back in it. If we win, we've got a nice gap going into the end of the season. But yeah, big game. Hopefully we can continue this great run of form we've been in and extend that lead to 9 points. So this is the side we've selected for the game away at Leverkusen. Big game. We've got pretty much everyone fully fit for this game. So we are going with Sané, Diaz and Tel as the front three. Tel, just the sheer number of goals he scored has to be involved, which means we moved Musiala back into the two in midfield with Florian Wirtz, with Gundogan behind them, which means that Goretzka misses out on this occasion, but he's on the bench and he can come on to transform the game for us if we need. Not much happening early on, no shots from either side in the opening 10-12 minutes here. They've got the ball at the back. Tel wins it. Musiala wide to Diaz. Wirtz breaking through. And against his former side, he's dragged his shot wide of the goal. Right, Grimaldo with a free kick for them towards Boniface. Luckily, his header just loops into the arms of Mike Maignan. And out to Delict. Mazraoui down the right into Sané. And we've gone back to the centre halves. Musiala drifts across the pitch, finds Mazraoui, who overruns it. They've gone back to the keeper. And now they're going to play out from the back. Poor pass there. Gundogan cuts it off. Wirtz into Luis Diaz. Musiala making the break forward. Dispatches it past Kovar in the Leverkusen goal. And makes it 1-0. And I mean, based on the chances, you've got to say we probably deserve to be in front. I mean, Wirtz should have definitely scored his. But Musiala gets it out of his feet and just dispatches it past the keeper. Simple finish and 1-0 up. Right, Grimaldo down the left for them. Into Profundi. Back to Palacios, across to Bove. And Maignan gets across to tip it behind for a corner. And there we go. Half time, 1-0 up. Pretty professional job so far. They've had a lot of possession. They've had more chances as the half's gone on. But they're going to need to start throwing people forward and hopefully we can pick them off on the break if that does happen. Right, Mazraoui with a free kick into Ilkay Gundogan, wide to Alphonso Davies with loads of space to move forward into. Goes round the outside, pulls across and it gets deflected straight to the keeper's hands. And they're obviously looking to go short, but we've forced them into clearing it long. Mazraoui wins the header. Wirtz over the top looking for Sané. Low cross in. There's Matisse Tel, his 28th goal of the season, but we're going to need a VAR check to see whether it's going to stand or not. It didn't look like it could possibly be offside, but I mean, certainly Sané was well onside. It was actually, he was probably, I mean, from that angle, it probably looked like he was in front of the ball and was in an offside position, but pretty close, but extends the lead to 2-0 and gives us a bit of breathing space. Throw in for them. Tel picks up a loose ball. Sané back to Tel in the box when he's dragged it wide. Right, Kim Min-jae wide to Mazraoui into Gundogan. Delict. Kim Min-jae now. Alphonso Davies. Diaz finds Gundogan back to Davies. They're giving us plenty of time on the ball here. The ball runs through. Tar or both. I mean, it looked like they both came and flattened him. And Bove gets a second yellow card and he's off. Goal kick for them. They've come out short and then spread it to Frimpong on the right. Davies gets in his way and wins it back. And Kim Min-jae striding forward from the back. Finds Wirtz. That's a loose pass. But Grimaldo has it nicked off him by Mazraoui. We're certainly doing well to put pressure on and get the ball back now. Delict across to Alphonso Davies with acres of space. Cuts infield, finds Mazraoui. Sané on this right hand side, driving to the byline. His cross gets deflected into the arms of the keeper. And then they go long. And we win another header. And then this time Musiala finds Wirtz. He's into the box. And this time he does finish against his former club and puts us 3-0 in front. It was rather a long highlight, and then keeps forced to clear it long. Kim Min-jae wins the header. Musiala hits it on, plays it on first time. Wirtz takes it around the defender, and then from the edge of the box, just fires it past the keeper for 3-0. Right, a corner, Wirtz to take it into the near post. It's headed up in the air. Goretzka finds Gnabry on the edge of the box, and his shot was always just going to go over the top. Right, Stanisic with the throw. Musiala back to Goretzka. Tell crosses, it's cut out, and they've just about cleared it. But Goretzka back to Tell into Musiala. What a finish that is! His second goal of the game makes it 4-0, and we're making a statement here. So Goretzka just lifts it forward. Tell, first time, lays it down for Musiala, who hits it first time himself, gave the keeper no chance, and 4-0 up against this team that's second in the table. Right, Wirtz with a corner as we approach injury time. Into the near post, it's headed up in the air. Stanisic back to Wirtz, cutting on his right foot, lashes it into the top corner. 5-0, and we're really laying down a marker for the end of this season here. Played it into that near post, it's headed up in the air. Stanisic just lays it off. Wirtz allowed to cut in and then just lashes it into the top corner. And we've got a free kick. Florian Wirtz to take it, looking for his hat-trick. Oh, onto the roof of the net, and that's full time. In the end, it was a pretty comfortable performance. It got a bit easier once they had Bove sent off. But 5-0 victory, as we said, really lays down a marker for the end of the season, puts us 9 points clear at the top. And the end of our second season's in sight. It looks as though we're going to win another league title. We've got a semi-final coming up in the DFB Pokal, and we're still in the Champions League as well. And there we have it, the end of another episode. Season 3 of the Save, Season 2 with Bayern Munich is rapidly coming to a close, and we're in a really strong position going into the end of the season. 9 points clear at the top of the table in the league. We're in the semi-final of the DFB Pokal. We're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Join us next time to see if we can add one of those two missing trophies, the DFB Pokal and the Champions League, to what we've achieved in the Save so far. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.